Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy. And I've been working today trying to plan out a few projects for this Sweet and Zesty collection from Shabby Art Boutique for the Craft Room members. This is a beautiful kit just loaded with millions of things to use and lots of pretty pages and ephemera that I've been cutting out and planning. And what I decided to do first was to make a mini journal out of a stevia sweetener box. I've used these before and they're nice and sturdy and they make a nice little miniature journal. And what I used was the I used the papers that are 4 to a page and I cut them to fit, and I'll explain that later. And then I used these 4 ladies that were actually journal cards 4 to a page. So that was the closest thing to the size that I could come up with, and all of her patterns, or most of her patterns, have this size, and so it's easy to plan out a miniature journal if you want to use those pages. The first thing I did was trim off the box, trim off the top and the one side and the bottom so that it makes this nice book form. And then we're going to want to cover it with a paper. And I'm going to use a glue stick to glue the cover and the inside cover on. I use the Scotch permanent glue stick, which has worked really well for me. I'm about to need to order some more. I've really been using it lately. And the first thing I did was print just on copy paper whatever pattern that I wanted from the background pages. So I chose this pink polka dot, which is mostly going to be covered up, but that's what I chose. And I turned the box over to make the cover, make the outside first. And this will be glued on, and then these sides folded in. So I'm gonna apply the glue to the box and then lay it down on here, and then we'll work on folding the corners in. So let me get my piece of paper that I'm gonna use to be underneath here so I don't get glue on my table. And I'll just apply a good amount of glue on this cover. This is real similar to what I just got through making, where I had to join the cover and the spine with masking tape, and then I covered it. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this on the video for those that may not have seen that one. Okay. And now what I'm gonna do is get this paper. This is my polka dot paper. And I'm gonna lay the stevia box down on it. And try to sort of center it and keep it straight. And I'm gonna turn that over and use my bone folder to make sure that I have all the bubbles out and it's glued down well. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is take our scissors and cut these corners at an angle like this. And then we're going to put glue on that paper and fold it in. And this will be the inside. Do the opposite edges. You see I've got a little gap here. I could have cut that angle a little bit differently and avoided that gap, but I believe it'll all be covered up by the time I get finished. While that glue's still damp, I'm gonna kind of fold it a little bit just so these edges here don't rip. If I fold it while it's wet, it's still flexible. Okay. Now I cut the inside paper slightly smaller than the this size, and I just measured it and cut it slightly smaller on each edge. So the next thing I'll do is glue that in. Okay, we're ready to put this down. We'll do the same thing here. Use a bone folder to make sure there's no bubbles and make sure it's glued down well. And then I'm going to take the bone folder and put it in that crease and just kind of fold it up. We're going to get some wrinkles, but it won't show when it's all done. The same thing on this side. So there's our book covered, and I'll lay that aside and let it dry really good before I start doing anything with it. But I will show you. Now some of my print shows through a little bit, but it's all going to be covered, so it doesn't matter. And here's what I've kind of decided to do. On the inside, I've divided these little booklets into kind of a summertime beach kind of section and a strawberry section. And I've got 4 pages, 4 printed on cardstock, both sides. I used on the outside, I used the ones that were 4 to a page, and on the back side, I used the all over pattern page, background page. So When I cut the, let's see, I need to tell you. You may not use a stevia box, but I'll give you the measurements anyway. This ends up being 3.5 by 4 3/4. So what I did when I cut my pages to fit inside, because they were a little bit larger, I cut them 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So the 3 1/4 would just come to here, and the 4 1/2 would be just inside the bottom and top. And when I did that, I had to lay my page down on the paper cutter and measure from the center out 3 1/4, and then turn it around and measure from the center out 3 1/4, so that the line would still be in the center. And then when I wanted to measure the 4 1/2 this way, I just looked at the design and decided whether to take it off the top or the bottom. So this is what I have put together to put inside. And on the cover and the inside front cover, I have printed out these 4 ladies' journal cards. And I haven't decided what I'm going to put on the cover yet. I think it'll probably be this one. And I will mount her on the cover. And then I'll have another one to go on the back. And then the other 2 will go on the inside front cover and the inside back cover. All of my pages and all of these will be, the corners will be rounded and they will be inked. And I plan to use the tea-dye color ink so that it's not dark. It's just very light brown, but it covers these white edges. Some like to have the white edges show. I like to do them so that, whoops. Well, I was crooked the whole time, but that's okay. I like to do them so that the white edges don't show. It defines the picture more to me. So I'm going to go off and kind of plan this out and get started on putting it together and come back and show it to you. So I'll be back soon. I went ahead and put the cover lady on the front and the back and the inside front and back cover. And then I measured halfway down and put my eyelet in the front and back. And we will tie a ribbon to this to tie this closed later. Now what I wanted to show you next was we're going to sew in the 2 signatures that I showed you. And in order to do that, we have to poke holes through this outside part here, and also inside in the middle of my little signatures. And I'm not going to do this till later, but I wanted to go ahead and mark it and show you how I did that. What I did was, and I won't give you the measurements because your project may be different, but what you want to do is measure top to bottom and put a dot in the center. And then what I did, I did the center mark. And then to determine where to put the top and bottom mark, let's see, what did I do? I measured equal distance from here to here and from here to here. Depending on how far you want it from the edge, you put your dot there. And then we want to do the same on the other side. And in order to find those spots, you want to come in equal distance from the side, from this edge right here. And let's see, and make your other mark. And what I had to kind of plan it all out ahead of time, because I had to figure out, I marked the center, but then I had to go back and figure out exactly where it needed to be so that they're equal distance from the edge and equal in between. That didn't make any sense, but I hope you can see what I did. And the next thing I need to do is, because I'm going to be putting this in here like this, I need to know where to poke the holes inside. And so what I did was, in order to have everything lined up, I just folded a piece of paper and put it even with the top here, and I marked the 3 spots. So that way I can go, when I'm ready, inside in the center of my signature and mark the 3 spots and poke my holes through this and through the outside edge of the book, and everything will match up. This will end up perfectly centered, I hope, and the 2 signatures will be equal distance apart. I hope that made sense. I've had to kind of finagle with this myself, but the main thing is to find the center first. And then you want to figure out exactly where that needs to be from this edge and from this edge, leaving room in the middle for your expanded signatures. And then measure these spots. Then fix your template for your inside. Okay, I'm going off again and I'm gonna decorate. I'm back to show you the flip through of my completed journal that I've decided to call Sweet Summertime Mini Journal. I got you up to the part of how to put it together, how to make the cover, how to measure the holes for sewing everything together. And I have sewn it together now and decorated the entire journal. So what I decided to do was tie this closed with my some of my lace that I had used in the journal. It gives it a real frilly look, and so I thought that would be really pretty. And on the outside edge here, whenever you sew this together, all the stitching and all shows. And so I covered it with lace in order to make it more decorative and to reinforce the spine and to cover up that sewing. And that's just glued on there. And then to decorate the front, I on this beautiful woman that was printed on the journal card that I used, I added a glass of iced tea, the word summertime, and some roses and strawberries. And what I have done on here with the stickles, and the front and back is the only place I use the stickles. I just put dots of stickles, and I hope you can see them, just random over the page. And then I came in with this, this is a ink pen that has clear ink and glitter inside. And you just shake it and squeeze and paint on your items. And so through here, I decided to put glitter on the strawberries and the sand, and also on the lemons and the balloons. And so I don't know if you can see it. I got this flashlight hoping it might show the glitter. I don't know if it will or not, but the glitter is not as large pieces as the stickles, but it dries instantly and it gives kind of a nice soft glitter to these items. After I finished the cover, I just tied this bow out of my seam binding ribbon. I doubled it so it would be a bigger bow and glued it up here in the corner, and then with a white pear clip I put hung from the bow a piece of lace, a strawberry, and some charms. And so now I'll untie this lace and show you the inside. The way I attached this lace was just to tie it in kind of a double knot so it wouldn't pull through, and that's our closure. And inside here you can see where I have attached the two signatures, and they are sewn in with heavy thread. I use a cotton thread. And they're far enough apart in the middle that they have room to be fat like they are. So let's go through this and look at each page. Of course, we have our girl standing on the beach, and I added to her some roses, saying, "And so the adventure begins," and a stack of suitcases. Over here, I just trimmed what was printed on the page with some pearls. I have some lace at the bottom and the children playing in the sand, and a pail of sand. The sand has all got the glitter on it. I attached the family vacation tab and hung from it on a pink pear clip some charms, and I tried to pick charms that kind of went with our album theme, and it also says "Made with Love." I trimmed this page with lace on the other side. I tried to leave some of the pages so there's room for just short notes in here, and then there are some journal cards and little booklets and tags throughout the journal. On this page, I trimmed the edge of the page with lace and some pink ribbon. I placed Our Lady sitting in the chair with some roses and "Hello Sunshine." I did not decorate on this page except to add my glitter to the balloons and add this tab that says "Making Memories." Also, some of my hand-dyed pink lace at the bottom. This page, I just edged it with some ribbon, lace that would stick out over the edge at the side and the bottom. And anywhere I had sand and I put some fussy cuts, I used my coffee dyed cheesecloth. I thought it was kind of the color of sand. And so I attached to this the children playing in the glittery sand. Use the word "sandcastles" backed with some blue stripe paper, and then my little stick-ons glittery dots. On this page, this was printed on, and down here I added a strip of pink paper and a beach chair, some cheesecloth, and a bucket with sand, and the tab "Picnic" at the top. Plenty of room to write. I can envision taking this on a family weekend picnic or a weekend trip to the beach or something, and maybe just making some little notes about things that happened or whatever you might want to put in it. This page, I made a pocket out of one of our papers and put this tag in. I just glued a bow or tied a bow on it on the side here. Trimmed the top with lace with her sunglasses. So she's got her sunglasses and her hat and her ice cream. Over here with this journal card, I made a side tuck, and inside I put the one of the file folders. The lemons are sparkly, and just made that so it would open up for journaling. And I added lace on the edge. On this page, I used the beach bingo card to make a side pocket. Added the balloon floating by over the sandcastle. And inside the pocket, I placed a tag. I had to cut off the bottom so it wouldn't be too big. And this is one of those that I left so it would open up. I glued to it the sailboat and Sunkissed. Tied a bow at the top that would stick out over the edge. This is the center of my first signature. I used some cotton thread. It's 4-ply that I had for candle wicking, and I've got a lot of it candle wicking that I was doing like back in 1980 something. I still have a lot of it. On this page, I just put the summer banners, Fun in the Sun, and a bicycle with the tab Sunkissed. On this side, the roses were printed on the page, and I added the Hello Summer and some ice cream, some lace, and then I found this pink and white striped ribbon that I had that made me think of this awning here. So I added that with some pearls. Over here I have the lemonade stand, and all the lemons are glittery. I cut an angle out of one of our papers to make an angle pocket, and put inside a couple of a journal card and a tag with our little pink ribbon at the top for a pool, and the words Beach Days. On this side, I took the beach hut and put it over some cheesecloth to kind of represent the sand. And I left the top part of it unglued so we would have a tuck spot there for the little children playing in the sand and a sandcastle. Over here on the page, this is just a pink polka dot page, and I added some lace, and I had some blue ribbon that I pulled. This is that bunch of ribbons tied together that I told you I get from Hobby Lobby. And this was a little bit too bright, so I rubbed my ink pad over it, the pad thing that I use, and inked a little bit over it that dulled down that blue so it would go with our colors. Added the words sandcastles and roses and some of my sparkle dots and the beautiful lady sitting on the beach. On this page, I used a tag with the suitcases on it, decorated it with the word road trip and some of my dots, and just glued down these two sides to make a tuck spot. And inside are two tags with ribbons tied at the top. Over here, I made a pocket out of one of our postcards. I had to cut it to fit. Trimmed the bottom with some of my hand-dyed pink lace. Used the word Beach Days over the pink polka dot paper. And inside the pocket are two tags. This is another piece from that ribbon that I got in a bundle. Finally, I ordered some eyelash yarn, it's called. That's what this is. I could not find the pink with the little glitter. I really like that. But I'll keep looking. This is the back cover of our first signature, and it was yellow, so I picked up on the lemons, and they're sparkly with some roses. I trimmed the edge with some ribbon and a piece of our blue stripe paper, tied a bow at the top, and attached a pear clip with some charms on it. I've got a mermaid and a starfish and a turtle. Summer Lovin'. Okay, so the first part of the journal, I forgot to mention, the first signature was made up of beach and florals and lemonade. The second half is our strawberry section. So I have put the sparkle paint made with this little brush on all the strawberries. This page had the strawberries printed on it. I added the lace down the side and some of my baker's twine in pink and white hat trimmed with strawberries, the word strawberries, and some red sequins. On this page, I used one of our journal cards. I think I had to cut it down with some words about picnic. It's too little, I can't read it. And made a pocket, and inside the pocket I put some ice cream. Over here I sparkled up the strawberries, put the words "Adventure awaits you," the beautiful pink bicycle, and some of our sparkle dots, and the words on the tab, "Family Vacation." On this blue stripe page, I added a pot of strawberries, some probably strawberry lemonade, and a little tab. I think I used the back side of it rather than whatever words were on the other side. You can never have too much happy, and some of our red sequins. Over here, this page was printed with the strawberries up in the corner. Now they're sparkly strawberries. I added the word "Strawberry Patch," some of my pink paper, and some lace, a picnic basket, and strawberries, and then some trim across the bottom that hangs off the bottom of the page. On this page, I cut an angle pocket from the red checked paper, background paper from the kit. Well, it's not the background paper, it's one of the side-by-side if you wanted to make a journal and print and fold it in half. Anyway, I cut that off and made an angle pocket and mounted my lady with her plate of strawberries. Her head sticks up above the edge, and I put a strawberry card inside. I want to mention again, all these fussy cuts, I was able to do 99% of them on my Cricut. Some of them that had a polka dot or white on the edge, it would go in and cut where it wasn't supposed to, but almost every single one cut perfectly. I just converted the files to JPEG and then printed them through the Cricut's directions and cut them out. I still have a lot, so I have another project I want to do. On this page, I used the strawberry bingo card to make a side pocket. It has this basket printed on it, and inside the pocket I put a couple of tags that I made. I used this punch. It'll do 3 different sizes. And so sometimes I just take some of the papers that I have and make tags to fit what I'm doing. And then I put my fussy cuts on the front and tied a ribbon in the top. At the top, I put the word, I put across some blue stripe paper, the word picnic, some pearl trim, and a plate of strawberries and lemons, and then our lace that sticks out the top. Okay. On this page, oh, this is the center, and I almost messed this up. I decided I wanted this larger journal card to go in the center, and I thought I could glue it in the seam. Well, that didn't work, so I had to take some paper and kind of reinforce that. That's how I would put it in next time, not try to glue this in. But anyway, I fixed it so it looks decent. But I thought that would give us some writing space, plus have something pretty in the center of the signature. I have some lace trim here with some strawberry ice cream and strawberries. I just put a little bowl of strawberries here so there'd be plenty of room for writing. This just has some tabs on it, summer fun and ice cream. It says ice cream makes everything better. And I can attest to that. Whenever I get tired or frustrated or whatever, if I can go get myself a bowl of ice cream or a hot fudge sundae, I just feel all bitter. On the back side here, I just put one of our baskets of strawberries that was fussy cut out. Over here, I have some strawberry ice cream, lace, and some strawberries. This page had flowers and roses and some strawberries printed on the side here. And so I just added the ice cream cone and some more roses. Those are layered on. Lace at the top with the word strawberries. On this page, I made a side pocket out of the ice cream bingo card. And inside, I put this little paper here. I had to cut it to fit. That says ice cream, and there's a little room to write. And I attached a strawberry at the top as a pull. So that's a little journal card that can be written on. And at the bottom, I trimmed it with my lace, some of that pink stripe ribbon, and the words, "Choose to see the good stuff." On this page, I used, since it was pink in the background, I wanted to bring in the red plaid again. And so I used a strip of that paper and attached on the words, "Making Memories," and a strawberry. Again, all the strawberries are glittered. Put the basket on the red checkered cloth at the bottom, picnic basket. On this page, I decided to just paper clip on one of the file folders. So it just comes off for writing. And it just surrounds this edge of the page. And on the page, I just put some lace and some strawberries. Since I had this to kind of decorate the page, and that gives plenty of room for writing. And on the other side, I have the red checked paper, and so I put this journal card on top. And so this just fits right here, right above where this sticks out. And then I just put some red baker string and some charms. I have a frog and a butterfly. Those just dangle down the side. On this page, I just used a piece of one of the background papers and cut it to make a long side pocket. I decorated that with some lace and some red and white baker string and picnic basket. And inside the pocket, I placed a picnic bingo card, and I took this journal card and folded it in half for writing. Over here, I used the strawberries journal card. I had to cut down the sides to fit. And I cut a notch here and made a side pocket. And inside, I have this tag. I had to cut the length off of it where I left the 2 tags attached. So this opens up for writing. On the front, I have the lady with the plate of strawberries. And on the back, I have the Hello Summer. And this bow sticks out the edge. Okay, this is our inside back cover. And I just added Life Was Meant for a Great Adventure, 3 of our stick-on dots, and a strawberry. And this is the where I tied this in a knot to tie our journal closed. And on the back, again, she is a journal card and was already printed like that. I mounted her on the back, put some stickles here and there around on the page, and added some sparkly strawberries up in the corner. So this lace, it wasn't the right width for it to be decorative on both sides, so I did have to cut it, but it covers the spine and this front and back edge. And this just ties closed with our lace. So I hope you've enjoyed this sweet summertime mini journal. It was fun to make. Remember, I made it out of a stevia box. So always save your boxes that have good heavy cardboard and are a size that you might want to make a journal out of, because you can certainly do it, and it saves a lot of work cutting cardboard pieces and putting them together with masking tape and all, like I did on my lace journal. So anyway, I have another project I'm going to make out of this Sweet and Zesty collection, and I'll get to work on that and come back and share that. This will be one of my design team projects for Shabby Art Boutique, and I'm proud to be able to share it with you today. So remember, every day's a gift. Always find the joy in each day and share it with everyone you meet along the way. And if you've had experiences that help you to, that you found a way through, and troubles maybe that you have experienced that you found a way through, and still letting your light shine, be sure to share those with people so that they know that they too can get through their troubled times, and there's always hope, and there's always a bright future ahead. So I'll be back soon, and I hope you have a great day. See you soon.